Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. How are you doing today? Michael Zuber with One Rental at a Time. And you know what? I really love these Fridays conversations because we get to talk deals. We get to introduce you all to a non-QM lender, which is someone I wish I had at my disposal when I was building my portfolio, because I either had banks or hard money. And this space, at least I didn't know about them, this non-QM lender. So let's welcome Stephen Dow to the show. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a happy Friday to you, sir.
There you go. Hey, so one thing we're going to do is we're going to kind of daisy chain a conversation we had together last week. Last week, you and I compared the return on a flip, right? All the way from cash to different programs. And some people everybody loved it, but a couple of people said, "Hey, Zuber, you're the one rental at a time guy. What are you doing? What are you doing talking about flips?"
Flips, right.
So what I thought I'd do is we would pull up and we would just create it together, right? I built a spreadsheet just as a cash buyer, and then I have no idea where this is going to go, but I thought we would look at some programs. But before we do, we gotta take care of that marketing thing so you don't
Thank you for remembering. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Again, although I work for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the topics and ideas discussed on this channel are that of my own, and let's get it rolling.
Yeah. So again, folks, as we build this spreadsheet together, it's going to be on the fly. We're going to do our best to do it. Realize that every loan program will rely on your property and your situation. This is just an example to show the power of leverage and how a non-QM lender can help you. Why would you go to a non-QM lender? You've got more than 10 properties. Your debt to income, property is for whatever reason doesn't qualify. There's lots of reasons you all need to go to a lender like Velocity Mortgage. But realize what we're about to go through is an example. It's an example. It's an example. I just want to get that out of the way so you can see how this works.
Disclaimers on the next video, just examples everywhere.
Exactly. I don't want anybody calling me up. You said blah, blah, blah. All right. So I'm going to make our picture smaller so it's not a distraction. How can I do that?
Okay.
I did that. All right. So now it's just the spreadsheet. You can see this, right, Stephen?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me paint the vision of the cash purchase, and then I have a couple of columns because I think you have a few loan programs that could work. But here's the deal, right? So this is a cash purchase. It's a 200K, whatever. I'm going to call it a house.
Okay.
And obviously the down payment is the full purchase price. Actually, I'm going to increase the closing cost to like $3,000 because in closing costs, you got title and this and that. It's a 200K purchase. I'm going to say make ready is 25K. And this is something maybe we can use one of your programs and then refi out again. Lots of options. I'll let you choose.
Okay.
So in essence, to get this property make ready or rent ready, as I call it, it's going to be a total of $228,000, right? Hopefully that makes sense for folks.
Right.
What I did in this case is I picked a rent. I picked a rent completely out of thin air, right? I'm making all of these numbers up. So again, rent was $1,750. Obviously, M payment stands for mortgage payment, right? So there is none because this is a cash deal.
Right.
What I did is assume 30% expenses because this was a house. If this was a duplex or more, I would assume 40%. I chose 30% because I own these things, and that's about what they come out as in my experience.
Okay.
Simple.
Typically, yeah.
Yeah. Again, house, not multifamily. Multifamily would be higher. Cash flow then is just simply rent minus expenses because there is no mortgage payment.
NOI.
Yeah. It's just cash flow. Then 1225. And then what I have here is yearly calculations. And then because I only talk about yield, right? I've done the yield calculation, which is essentially 14,700 divided by out of pocket turned into a percentage. So that's the cash purchase. Okay. This ought to be fun, interesting. We'll see how this goes. What are some of the programs that we could consider if we were going to buy this with Velocity Mortgage? Which program do you want to do first?
I guess what's more relevant to most of your viewerships and students is the ARV program because it's for fix and flips and such. So I would imagine that would be more of what they would be interested in. So with that being said, great timing for this show or this episode because we just had some great changes to our guidelines as of yesterday. So rates went down a little bit on refinances. Okay. But as far as purchases, especially for the ARV program, will now cover 80% of the purchase price. So now only 20% down.
Wow. Okay. I'm just copying everything. So the math stays the same. So, okay.
Yes, sir.
So again, to do the ARV, so it's 20%, it's 80% of purchase is what you said.
Correct. Right.
Okay. So that
put down 40,000.
Yep. So that means you're going to have, down payment.
Yeah.
Payment 40,000. Okay. Okay. Closing cost, we'll assume it's the same. Actually, no, we're getting a loan, right? So let's be fair, right? So
Right.
you're going to have some costs there. So this
Correct.
probably goes from $3,000 to $6,000. I'm just making stuff up.
I would imagine somewhere around there, just for with
Yeah.
title. If you're talking about title escrow and all that other stuff,
Yeah.
that's roughly about right.
Okay. Again, make ready is the same. So in this case, in the ARV program,
We cover
Yeah.
100% of the make ready, if that's what you mean by rehab.
yeah, that's rehab. So you
Yep.
cover this in the loan.
Yep, 100%.
All right. So that goes to zero. That's cool. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So rent's going to be the same. Well, now we're going to have a mortgage payment. So we're going to have you're going to borrow 185K in this example, right? It's 160 on the first, and then 25K. So what kind of rate are they going to get, you think? And again, this is, everybody call.
Sure.
Steven,
No.
blah, blah,
Give me a call because it all is relevant or rate. FICO score driven. So it
Right.
depends on your FICO score. But let's just use 699.
All right. So I
so
got
as far as form, yeah.
So what did I say? So that's 160, 120. So 185 grand. Sorry, I pulled up a mortgage calculator, so I'm doing this right now.
Thank you. Yeah.
And that would be 30-year amortized?
Correct. 30-year amortization. No, this is interest only.
Oh shit.
Particular payment. Yeah. So excuse me. Interest only at 699 on
okay.
a loan amount for 160, basically, right?
All right. So if this is interest only, that's not that, because my mortgage calculator is principal interest. Let's see if I can do this. So this would be 185 times 0.0699.
How did you get 185 though? Isn't the loan amount 160? Because
the plus the 25K in make ready.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, I apologize. You are correct. My apologies. You are right. My apologies.
All right.
I totally forgot about that. Yep.
Okay. So then in this case, so again, I just did 185K times the mortgage divided by 12 to get the monthly payment. So
correct.
it's almost $1,100.
Right.
Expenses still are 525 like the last example. So cash flow goes down. And again, this is all examples. So in this case, your yield, again, these are made up numbers, but you're coming in with a lot less cash, right? You're coming in with 46 grand versus, in the other example being 228.
Right.
Yep. Okay. And then the whole idea here is, do you refi out, or is this like a 30-year hold at this point?
No, this one's a 12-month interest only loan. So it allows you about 6 months to complete the rehab. Within an additional 6 months, if plans change, or now I want to look to hold on to it. Now gives you time to refinance or things of that nature. But ideally, you would want to refinance in the conventional if you can.
Okay, so the idea is So all right, so I love that. So again, this is a fixer. The fixer doesn't qualify for bank lending. Blah blah blah. We have all of that. You can get into this, run the program, own it for 6 months.
Right.
You still cash flow, but then you refi it into conventional.
Yep.
I don't know. Let's what the hell? Let's try to do a conventional. Again, folks, I'm making this all up as I go, as you can see. So let's just copy this, move it forward. So then the refi, after 6 months, I don't know, let's make sure we capture everything right. Conventional. Okay. So now it's not purchase price. Let's say the value is 300.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's say the value is 300. A conventional pretty easily 75%. All right. So this is
because I was going to say, as far as down payment, you don't have down payment anymore.
Yeah. Well, let's hold this. So again, okay, let's just assume it's 25%, 300. So they're gonna loan you 225.
Right.
Okay. So 225. Let's do the math. Okay. So 225 that pays you back, right? Because you were 185.
Correct.
Right? Is that right?
And correct. And you get your down payment back out.
Yeah. So actually, hold on. So 220, 200, 40. You've actually borrowed 185. So 225 is the new loan. All right. So you're actually negative, right? In theory, you get some cash. Is that right? 225, 200. Well, let's just say let's make this easy. Let's just say they refi for what you have in the deal, which is 225, because you borrow 185. All right, so you have no money in the deal.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're faster than me. So how did that work, folks? Because I missed it. Your loan with Velocity Mortgage was 185.
Correct.
And you put 40K down. Happens to be 185 plus 40 is 225, which is now the loan amount at 25%.
It just worked out that way. Yep.
Oh, that's funny. So
sorry.
Okay.
Numbers don't lie.
So this is 25% down. So, okay, now you have a theoretically no money in the deal. Even your repair money's back. So your closing costs, because you are doing 2 loans. So let's realize that. So you're probably total closing cost about 12 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Yeah, that's right. 12 grand. Make ready is 0. So, okay. So you're in the deal 12 grand because you've had 2 closings, a purchase and then a refi. Okay. I'm good so far.
Let's just say that we might be lowballing even the closing costs. I mean, we can always go back and adjust that, but your yield is still
I don't
pretty
care.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
just
care.
to be on the safe side, because you never know. I'm just wanting to be honest here. Yeah.
So, okay. So now you're in the deal 15 grand. Your mortgage payment, however, is not here.
Right.
All right. Because the rates are going to be lower. Sorry. Let me go back to my calculator. So now we're not borrowing 185. We're borrowing 225.
Right. And if you have a bat line to Matt, the mortgage guy, where you can get today's conventional rates real quick.
Yeah.
Because they change all the time and sometimes multiple times a day. So I don't know to be able to quote, but use, I don't know, 3 1/4, 3 and
again, folks,
3 3/8, something like that.
Yeah. I'll use 3.8.
30-year amortized. Yeah, sure.
Why not?
And that's even on the high side. So that's if you've got like, 620 FICO or something.
Okay. So again, folks, you can run your own numbers, but what I did is 225, 3.8%, 30-year amortized. Your new mortgage payment is 1,048. You can go ahead and check my numbers if you want. Actually, that number didn't change. Why did that not change?
Well, because the rate got lower, but the loan amount increased. So it offsets the payment. Whereas before the loan amount was lower, but the rate was higher.
Yeah, I don't trust my calculator. So I'm gonna do this.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah.
Because you're doing 699 interest only.
Yeah.
On the ARV program, and then in comparison, you're doing 3.8.
Oh, it is
30.
1,000. It's 30.
That's 40. Yeah. No, it's correct.
Wow, look at that. Oh my God. Right. And again, this is because you have also no money in the deal.
I know, but right. Less skin in the game, more leverage, stay more liquid, participate in more transactions. I mean, it's just kind of all goes hand in hand.
Right. That's pretty amazing. Again, folks, if you want to run through examples, you need to email. Stephen, let's tell them right now how you want them to email. Again, your email is below these videos, but not everybody looks there.
That's okay. It's SDAO at velocitymortgage.com.
Step 1. So this is
and with these new changes with some of our guidelines too, there's a great feature with our 30-year fixed loan right now. You have an option of picking an interest only period anywhere from 1 to 10 years.
Yeah.
For the first 1 to 10 years of a 30-year loan. So it gives you the flexibility. Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. And then you do have another program. I think it was called the Fast 50.
Correct.
I want to try that one. I just want to have some fun. So Fast 50, basically Fast 50, as I remember, was basically, hey, you're somebody that's, I don't know, for whatever reason, you can't get a bank loan. You're kind of liquid. But
a lot of challenges, but if your FICO is at least 650 or higher, you can be 1 day out of BK.
Yeah.
Have multiple mortgage lates.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go.
You name it. Yeah.
All right. So the purchase price was 200 grand. In this case, Fast 50, obviously the 50 is 50% down, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. And we're going to go back to the first closing cost, which was 6 grand because we're doing it once. You're not covering make ready in this example, right?
No.
All right. So we're back to 25K. Okay. All right, so we're in the deal, but the interest rate is different on a Fast 50.
Ooh, oh yeah, you get the prime rate, the best rates, because at such a low leverage, that's really in our eyes very little risk. So we're willing to kind of attract this type of paper. But in this case, due to the fact that on a purchase, right?
Yeah, purchase, not purchase.
Yep. And again, 750 and above FICO would be preferable, but I hate to even quote rates because then now people are going to like, no way. And then I don't want people to undercut me, but I'll throw it out there for your listeners at 750 and above, I'll give them 5.49%, 30-year fixed.
Jesus Christ.
I know. So now in comparison to traditional, conventional, we're going to be a lot more attractive with less headache.
Yeah. I mean, that hassle factor today with freaking conventional lending. I mean, geez, this is great. All right. So again, your mortgage payment, again, I did a calculator online, run your own calculations, folks. Are we disclaiming this enough? Hopefully. So now your mortgage payment is 567. So what I did is 100K, which is 50% of 200, 5.49, 30-year amortized is 567 on my calculator. So your cash flow is here. Your cash flow for the year is basically 8 grand. So yeah, you got a yield of 6% and you've got enough cash so you can buy 2.
Right. Again, stay more liquid, participate in more transactions. It just goes hand in hand.
Yeah. Very cool. Is there another program that we could think about, or does this kind of cover it, you think?
That pretty much covers it. I mean, because now with the change in the fixed loan with the interest only option to it, we don't have a need for the other bridge financing as far as the Flex IO, because that was only 24-month interest only. Now you can pick up to 10 months of interest only to kind of fall back on payment relief while you restabilize the property. Because again, it's much more relevant with landlords having to go through extended eviction moratoriums now. Like, how do they typically qualify for conventional financing if they can't show any income on their tax returns?
Yeah.
So with that being said, use our product.
Yeah, very cool. So let's tell them one more time, what do they need to do if they're following one rental at a time and they want to run a few scenarios by you, how you want them to reach out?
Email me, please. I'll be working over the weekend. Even though it's a long 3-day weekend, I'll be working pretty much all 3 days. So try to take it easy on me if you can. Maybe like to have a little barbecue.
Don't take it easy on
all the email responses.
Hammer him.
But sdow@velocitymortgage.com is the preferred method, please.
Yeah, folks, and you want to check him out. He has his own playlist on this channel. I think it's called Non-QM Lenders or Stephen Dow Non-QM, something like that. And also his email's below in case you didn't pick it up. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.